Guys, welcome to another episode of Into the West Comics. My name is Frank. I'm joined by Sonny, and this week we came with backup directly from his living room.
Let's go.
Lord Robert. Robert, are you there?
What is up? I'm here.
There he is.
Yes. I love it.
How's it going? How's the studio?
It's quiet without you, man.
Yeah. We're going to play Jonas Brothers in your honor later. I love it.
Sonny showed off his shirt last week, so I'm going to rep my Jonas Brothers merch.
Oh, man. We got some good shirts in the studio today.
I got a shirt. I'll post it later. The shirt, you can't see it. I'm too fat.
I'll post it.
It's like a lowrider.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Sonny, the boys.
Yeah, we'll be on that.
Robert, we wanted to talk to you this week about some stuff that we've all been reading and trying to keep up with because there's been so many crossovers, and it's every other week we're getting a new part in this story that's been unfolding that Tinian's been writing. It's been pretty entertaining. The Joker War.
Yeah.
We want to hear your thoughts on the Joker War.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I got a few things that I absolutely can't stand about it, only because it's just making me mad. One of them being in the last issue in '98, there was a lot of Batman Alfred stuff back and forth, and I really reading that. I was so frustrated that I feel like Alfred's actually dead, and I don't want him to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you're reading it and you're getting emotional with all the stuff that he's talking about with Batman. I'm like, why did we kill him off? What's going on? Is he going to come back? Any of that? But you also said there are a lot of tie-ins, and I don't know, Frank, have you been reading any of the tie-ins?
I've read Nightwing. That's a cool little side story with Grayson, obviously, and Punchline's been kind of involved in a lot of stuff that's going on with Nightwing. Red Hood, obviously, I've always liked Jason Todd a lot. Other than that, I have some of the other crossovers or tie-ins, I should say, but I haven't. I'm not current with all of them, but I have been reading those tie-ins.
The only ones that I think I've read have been the Detective comic ones. Because I think, from what I can tell, at least the last two issues of Detective comic, each comic is almost its own standalone story that is happening at the same time as the Joker War.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it seems really cool. This last week, Bermejo had such an amazing Killer Croc cover. And I don't even want to talk about his art because it's mind-blowing. But that story was kind of cool with Killer Croc being under the sewers, and he's created this Killer Croc gang that Batman just found out about, and it was really cool. But yeah, this is Joker War has been great. Probably, I mean, I didn't read Tom King's run, but I think this is the best Batman run I've been reading since Snyder. So
it's up there.
It is. It's fire. It's super good. I think. Oh, go ahead.
You, Frank, you said you have a thought on where it's going or where it's ending.
As far as one of these characters they introduced, the Clown Hunter, I think that it's a little bit too on the nose for him to be connected, sort of connected,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense to the Joker. I think that eventually he's gonna pay some type of sacrifice for a member of the Bat family. I think, and then I think he's gonna end up getting killed off. That's what I think. I don't know. I think Punchline has become too hot of a character. They've got their second Harley, basically.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be too much momentum behind her, so there's no way that she's going to go away or be killed off.
No, she'll be in here for a little while, I think. The Harley versus Punchline showdown was just so fire.
Oh my god.
So fire.
There was that one frame where they were facing each other, trashing each other and trying to one up each other.
Yeah,
and
dude.
it was just the best thing ever.
She
And I
called
got
her
a little
punch
scared
bag.
when
She called her
Batman.
punch bag.
Punch bag, yeah. That's right.
But when Batman came up, when he jumped up, I was a little worried they were going to kill her, and then I was like, nah, they built her up enough. She's not going to die right now. She's not dying in the Joker War.
No, I don't think she's going to die. One of the things I like too is that they do the callbacks to the entire Bat family, but they're also bringing in some other kind of like a rogues gallery as far as Batman's concerned. You have Catwoman, who's always sort of had a working relationship with the Riddler, bringing the Riddler, getting the Riddler involved, and then sort of like dangling money
Yeah, it's
for
like
Oswald
I can make
to,
you a
to
billionaire.
to be involved. It's kind of cool to get them drawn in. I don't know if Penguin is really going to be that interested in helping Batman out long term, but
Nah.
it seems like she's kind of convinced Riddler to kind of come over to the side of Batman. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I like it. It's playing out awesome.
I'm also wondering. I'm wondering with all these new characters, are we going to see the death of any more classic characters? Because we saw the death of Alfred, but we're introducing all these new characters. You got Punchline, Clown Killer, a new guy coming up, Ghostmaker. I'm wondering if they're going to need to make room for these people, or if they're just going to be added onto all of the Batman characters. Because when you look at the Batman characters, there's just so many of them, villains and all of them.
The
So I'm
lineup
wondering
is
what's
huge.
going to happen there.
It's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. They've got a lot of characters, and they have a lot of bat somebodies. I love the ultimate dad joke, that Batman had.
my.
This is the battery.
The battery. Oh my
I
god.
like, oh my goodness. I said that sounds like something I'd say to my son, and he'd just shake his
And it
head or
cracked-
get up and walk away.
Tinian cracked me up because even Harley's like, "Did you really just do that?"
Yeah.
And like Harley and Joker are like our one-liners. So
For sure.
even Harley's like, "Come on, that was
yeah.
that was a cheap blow."
Yeah. So I mean, as far as this is mapped out, we're going to get a conclusion to the Joker War. I think in October, we're getting a different chapter or tie-in every week because we had Nightwing this past week. Batman 99 is out next Wednesday,
Nice.
and then you have the Catwoman, Batgirl, and then the Joker, the Batman Joker Warzone, I think is what it is. I don't know if it's an oversized issue or whatever. And then it all comes to a culmination in Batman 100, and then the new arc I think will start for whatever Tinian's planning. I hope he stays on writing Batman for a while. I mean, we get teased by writers in the past who say that they're sticking with it for 50, 75, 100 issues. You remember, Rob, we were at the signing with Snyder where he's saying that he was going to stay on Justice League for like 50 issues, and he was gone after 30.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah, and he billed at like 38, and I think he
Yeah.
was the only reason I was getting those issues.
And
Yeah. Come on now. You got 20 more. Finish the line.
the ideas that he has, I mean, he just, we see it in what he's doing with Death Metal. And what he did with Dark Knights. I mean, he ties in all of these characters from all over the place.
Right.
You start asking him about, well, are you going to have this guy in it or whatever? I just got to say this, Rob. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. If you read Trinity Crisis, and Sonny, you read Trinity Crisis, there's like a first appearance of like 12 people, 12 different characters, like mashed up characters. It's crazy.
But there is a major first appearance from what I've been told, and I looked it up because I just wanted to know because I figured you were going to mention it tonight. But if you're not going to mention it, I'm not going to mention
Oh,
it.
we'll wait.
So
Yeah. Wait it out.
We'll get a little further down because Trinity Crisis, they're kind of treating Trinity Crisis, Sonny, like it's the 3.5 issue. It's number 3.5.
3.5.
Kind of in this series because there's no Death Metal issue. I don't think a Death Metal issue comes out this month. I think it's just October, November. I think it ends in December.
Sweet.
And then we'll get more dark multiverse stuff.
And you got the tie-ins coming from The Flash, I believe, with Joshua Williamson is the one writing it.
Yep.
Which
did an incredible job on Flash, by the way.
Read those.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was writing it when they did the when it was him and King doing the crossover, right?
Yep.
With Batman and him and Rebirth. Yeah.
Williamson was like amazing. He
Fire.
wrote, since the Rebirth started, he wrote 70 issues of the Flash.
Yeah.
I want to say 60, 70 issues. I think since the Rebirth started, I think he wrote the entire time. He wrote it the whole time
That's awesome.
until just recently. He did a great job. We wanted to talk about something else that is like, it feels like we're doing this weekly. It's be Into the West, Something is Killing the Children podcast, because we're doing Something is Killing the Children. Like, it seems like we're talking about it. There it is. We're talking about it every week, Rob. See, everybody's got
every week.
Every week we're talking about it.
Now Sonny was reading it right before this started, like while we were pre-talking all of this
it's
stuff.
still fresh in his brain.
How far did you get?
A third into it, like just the beginning. Just the beginning.
Oh.
Just
okay. So anyone who's been reading it, it's a horror story. We talked about it a little bit, how Tinian talks about the way that you write horror in a comic is your big reveals are page turn. And there was a page turn towards the end that I was surprised was in there. and because he's also talked multiple times about how him and Boom Studios are going back and forth with like how much gore and how much
Like, how can they push the line?
Yes, and I think there was a line, and there is no longer a line after this issue.
No, there's not.
So I'll know.
Sonny,
I'll
you're
know
not-
when I change the page. I'll know what it is.
Oh, when you turn the page, and there is one just frame that I was like, I can't believe they just did this.
Oh, man.
And towards the end of the episode, or not episode, towards the end of the issue,
It's
you
already like an
realize
episode.
Feels like an episode.
for real. Whatever's coming next is going to be huge because it ends with a pretty big cliffhanger.
Sweet. Oh man! As soon as this is done, I'll be finished.
I mean, that's a series that just keeps getting better and better as you're reading it.
What were you talking about Netflix though?
Okay, so when they're optioning this thing for Netflix, is what we've been told. Boom Studios is going to be collaborating with Netflix. They want to get further down the line as far as more issues. And I wanted to do like, you remember the casting call? Wizard Magazine used to do this thing called the casting call, that they would start to talk about who they would cast, what celebrities they would cast for.
Yeah, like a little fan cast.
Yeah. So I have the actress that could play Erica Slaughter.
Oh man, listen to this.
You didn't prep. Did you talk to Sonny about this? But you didn't talk to me about this.
I talked to Sonny about it.
Okay, I have an idea of somebody I also think would be really good for Erica Slaughter. Who
Is
do you have?
is it an actress, or she has an
Yes.
She has acting experience at least,
Oh man,
or is she an actress?
guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all both shoot. I want to hear his idea now.
Go ahead, Robert.
Well, mine's based off of solely appearance. So
Okay.
there's some times where like you get a close up of her face, and for some reason, all I can think of is Emma Stone.
Mm.
That's way better than mine. Now.
It's way better than yours.
Dude, he said it. It's like, that's way better than mine. I was like, dang. I was like, and she can be blonde too. I think she is blonde. Doesn't she color her
Well,
hair
she-
red? Like, I think she is
Gwen
blonde.
Stacy.
Yeah,
She was Gwen Stacy. She was blonde, but just put.
she
a couple
kind of looks
green
like
eye
Emma
contact.
Stone.
See, that's way better.
Rob,
Who did you have?
Dude,
I didn't want to bring it up
no,
now, man.
no,
Now
tell
I feel
him.
stupid.
you
Nah,
gotta say
tell
it.
him. Now you gotta tell him.
Now I feel like a ding dong. All right. Anyway.
He said, "Go ahead."
Okay. So she's very well known. She's had acting experience. She could switch into a completely different demographic and a different fan base, and she could give herself a break from the thing that she's doing now. We know that Erica Slaughter is in her early 30s, late 20s, right?
Hold on, Frank. I feel like you're building this up because you feel like it's not as good as Emma
Because he
Stone.
knows it's not.
Because when I said it at first to Sonny, I was like, this sounds really cool. And now that
then
you
he
said Emma Stone, now I can't think about anything except Emma Stone. And that raspy voice, like even that works.
Right, it does
Like-
work like that. That does work.
It's like like Emma Stone voice when she talks in some movies, she sounds like she's been eating cigarettes. Like, not just smoking, but she sounds like she eats cigarettes. Okay. So I thought about that. But this girl doesn't sound like she eats cigarettes.
Just drop
Who
it
do you
already.
got?
Taylor Swift.
This guy said Taylor Swift. That's what I said. I did that same face. What?
But hold on. You set it up as she can take a break from what she's currently doing. Her career, music.
But she could be an actress too.
He said she
That's
was like
true.
in CSI 14 years ago.
Yeah, she was in CSI. She has acting experience. She could do
Okay.
something different. She would appeal to a completely
Let me holler at our
new
sponsors
fan
really
base.
quick.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Sonny, please.
I could see it, but I'm sticking with Emma Stone.
I'm going with him. That was good.
I'm going with you too.
He hit that really spot on.
I'm going with you too.
I'd go.
Don't worry about me anymore. I'm going with you too.
We already know what's gonna.
You know who's another one? Sonny, you're a Game of Thrones fan.
Oh, yeah.
Sophie Turner. could also be a good one.
I
Well,
wouldn't be mad at that.
She could vindicate herself from being in Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, if she just did a dope Netflix show and then a dope HBO show, she wouldn't even have to imagine about the X-Men anymore.
We could forget about it.
I could forget about it if she did a dope job on that.
Hey, I actually kind of like that movie, so I didn't mind it. I'm actually a sucker for those X-Men movies because I kind of liked Apocalypse as well.
I'm a sucker for you. Did you? Okay, so speaking of something is killing the children, we're gonna let you get back to your children or your child. We're gonna let you get back.
We don't have the masks yet. I
We
wish
don't
we
have
had
the mask yet.
masks.
It's like the order is in. I don't know who I'm ordering them from. It's like it may be a lemonade stand or something in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, he lost the packages.
They sent me a tracking number and they haven't sent me any updates. So
You know what's the worst is when you get a tracking number and you try to track it and it pops up no shipment. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing there.
You're like, great,
I'm like, what do you?
we've
what
got
are you
shipping
doing?
horror stories. We have a few.
stoked.
Yeah. Robert, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you for taking the time. And
Of course.
we're gonna see you. You're gonna be right here next week.
Next week.
I love
will be
it.
there next week.
Be in the snack cave.
That's right.
The snack game.
Good talking to you.
Love it. All right.
Much
Peace
love,
out,
buddy.
guys.
Later.
All right.
That was dope.
Robert was here.
I know. That was cool.
He was in our presence.
So back to me and you in the lonely snack cave.
In the lonely snack cave. Listen. As soon as he said Emma Stone,
That hit pretty hard.
that rocked my world.
I could rock with that for sure.
I'm gonna write her and ask her
Or
to
tweet.
be, dear Emma.
Can you please pick up that Netflix special?
She hasn't been doing anything,
Yeah.
really. Has she? I don't know. She
No.
won an Academy Award. She'll do. She'll do.
She's stoked for that.
She was like, I'll do a Netflix series
Yeah.
about a woman who's hunting invisible monsters. That's fine. I'll do it. Sure.
In the pitch room, that sounds great.
You convince me. I'm gonna send her like a 2-sentence request, and yeah. Sonny, something came out last week that we're both really excited for. We're all in different places as far as viewing it. You watched all of it.
Three of us are in different places.
Yeah, I saw the first 2
Okay.
episodes. We're talking, of course, about season 2 of The Boys. There's the shirt,
The boys.
the whole lineup on there.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Mm-hmm.
Returning to its violence.
Over the top.
It's over the top, man.
It's hard.
It is.
I think the first 3 minutes got released early, and you can kind of see they're going with like the super terrorist thing, and then the Black Noir is kind of on his like little solo mission. You don't know what's really going on with that. It's been good. It's been really good. What do you think? What do you think about Stormfront?
I mean,
We were talking about this
what
earlier.
what I know about Stormfront, from what I've read about her and what I've seen,
Completely two different things almost.
yeah, Stormfront is male
Mm-hmm.
in the comics.
Did gender swap.
Yes, they did a gender swap. I don't know if they're from the same area because she's like from the Pacific Northwest. She's from like Seattle or
That's what she said.
Portland in the TV series.
Yeah, and they mark the other one in the comic as like a Viking because he comes from, spoiler alert, I don't want to go too much into
Yeah.
that. But I think it's going to be interesting. That fight scene that we were talking about was just so brutal. And that really shows like The Boys. I was trying to explain it to a couple people. It's definitely like some tongue in cheek. It's definitely like more adult comic book show where violence is okay, cuss words are okay.
hmm
It's way more gritty than anything we've seen on like Netflix or anything.
Yeah, that's never going to be a Disney Plus
No,
type of thing.
no, we won't get that.
Disney After Dark, maybe.
I think the cool part was they were naming each episode after chapters in the comic.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cool. Little cool. Shout out.
It's been really good so far, really violent, which we love. I'm trying to think about this as far as like from fans as like what we consume.
Mm.
The Justice League and the DC films of the world. Okay, they seem to have a darker or grittier
Different
type of
tone.
tone to them, and for some reason we don't embrace that. A lot of people don't embrace those movies.
Right.
We embrace the MCU because they have something like mapped out and orchestrated or whatever.
Right.
But The Boys is like over the top violent and
Way over the
gritty
top.
and like really extreme as
Mhm.
far as what they do with
And we're like,
language
give-
and everything.
And we're like, give
Right.
me it, give me it.
And
give me
we want to like we had to eat it up, man.
I think it's different the way they're playing things, the way DC kind of goes with it. Give me like a R-rated, gritty, just I don't want to say over the top because I think the thing that makes Boys so good is because it's over the top and there's like a couple things what was his name? Blind Spot. They're
Mhm.
like it's kind of like a parody on Daredevil almost.
Yes.
And Homelander is trying to talk to him for the first time. He's like, "Oh man, you're my idol," and blah blah blah. Like smacks him in the head really quick.
And they have the Deep is like he's getting immersed into like a cult
Yeah,
or something.
the Church of the Collective.
Dude.
And what's his Eagle the Archer is sucking him in.
I mean, that's Hawkeye. I mean,
It's Hawkeye for
that's
sure.
that's like a spin on Hawkeye. I mean, they're able to take shots at different comic book characters
Sure.
in a general sense, but it's still like it gets your attention. It still hits you close to home. It's like
Oh
those
my
other characters
God.
you've read for years and years.
Yeah, like Aquaman, you're like, Aquaman's so badass. And he's like, and then
And Deep is
he's spiraling right now.
He's
He's
losing his mind.
Spiraling right now. I don't know what episode. Did you see the
Patton Oswalt.
Oh my
The
God.
voice. You see that? The voice of his
Of
gills.
gills?
He's just talking to himself. It's like
He's like touching the gills. Oh man. See, but
full
listen-
disclaimer again, The Boys is not for young people to watch, young
No,
people
no,
to watch, okay? It is not a Marvel movie. Do not watch that with your little kids. It's wow.
They what was his name? I wrote it down somewhere. Eric Kripke. He's the showrunner of Supernatural.
Uh-huh.
And there's a couple guys coming in and out from Supernatural. I think next season.
Oh, Jensen Ackles.
Right, he's playing Soldier Boy.
Yep.
He's like a Captain America, been
Yep.
frozen in ice. We'll see how they play into that.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be really good.
I think that they've got so much potential where they can go. I mean, just based off the source material. I mean, we're going to get multiple seasons out of this.
Easy.
And the seasons are only 8 episodes.
Yeah, they're like what, like 45 to an hour long.
Yeah.
Like 50 minutes long.
There's a lot that you can put into these. And I mean, I don't know if they're lining it up with the chapters that they would be doing with the collected versions of The Boys, because The Boys
sure.
ended like, I want to say 70 issues, 60, 70 issues. I think it ended when Garth Ennis finished writing it. I was telling you about that thing that they had shot as like a side project. It's a 5-minute film that you can watch on Netflix, or not Netflix, on
Amazon.
Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Their competitor. Yeah, you watch it on Twitter. It's a 5-minute like mini movie about the Butcher, and it's set what happens with the Butcher
like in the middle.
after
I
the
heard something
first
about
and
that.
before the second season.
Like what he was doing and how he got there and
It's
how
a
he got
5
back.
or 6 minute.
It's something short. I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be a short movie.
So did I.
Oh man, 5
So
minutes.
they might elaborate that on a little bit more.
Okay.
But I didn't watch it. I just saw that it was up today. They're trying to do that as a filler before the next episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
So-
something to be stoked on.
So maybe it references something that's going to happen in the 4th episode. We don't know. It's really weird. It's like we got the 3 episodes and then there's going to be another episode and then it's halfway over already.
Right.
Like after a week, I like the idea of watching an episode a week, of like them spreading this out. I mean, because we get through so much binging. We watch shows and then you watch the whole thing
And you don't have anything.
and then you don't have anything to watch and then you're waiting a year for it to come out, something else to come out. So I don't know.
I know we're gonna talk a little bit more about it later, but I'm doing that with Raised by Wolves. It came out and I'm so stoked on it, and I completely ran through it, and I'm like, oh man,
I can't watch it yet.
well now I'm waiting,
Soon.
waiting every day. I'm waiting for a new show or a new episode of something to come out.
We are right now. We just dive into like whatever comes up, and
Yeah.
you just watch the whole thing. You
Well,
consume it.
You got to test it out. You know what I mean? Watch the
Mhm.
pilot, see how you absorb it. You know what I mean? Really let it marinate. and-
Ridley Scott's attached to that. He's going to do another Alien film that's not going to be Prometheus or whatever oriented. It's going to be something else.
Sweet.
That's going to be an alien movie. I mean, he's going to keep making alien movies. For
Yeah,
forever.
I mean, don't get us wrong. We love comics here, but we're not discriminating. I'm going through all kind of stuff.
Sure.
All kind of stuff.
Speaking of which, the trailer came out a day or two ago. I think yesterday.
Yesterday,
Dune.
Dune.
Yeah.
That's gonna be huge.
Remake on that 84 movie that came out of the same name. Dune is going to be turned into 2 parts. The cast is ridiculous.
Stacked.
It's a lot of people in there.
Stacked cast.
It looks really cool visually. I think that's one of those movies that you've got to see if they've got IMAX or whatever
100%.
else. You've got to see it in the IMAX. I saw Tenet in IMAX the second time we saw Tenet.
I saw it first time
yeah.
in IMAX.
It was cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Still as confused the second time around?
I'm still as confused. I think if I saw it every day last week, I think I still
Would still not even be there.
I'd be like, so is it backward? I don't know.
My mom and dad saw it. My dad was like, yeah, if you don't understand, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, get out of here.
That'd be great if he broke it down for you. It's like, well, see.
Well, my
it's a
mom said he
metaphor.
knew everything like
Come
about it. So
on.
I'm like, all right, my dad's an OG, man.
That's great.
That's cool. But no, back to Dune. I always try to do what music is playing in the trailers since we did the Batman thing, and it's Dark Side of the Moon, Pink
Nice.
Floyd.
Nice.
So I think that fits perfectly for what's going on in the movie. Like you said, cast is stacked. David Batista is the Beast, so I think he's gonna be like the bad guy. I like how he looks
With
like,
that
all
real pale skin and
yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Zendaya's in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Momoa's in it. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a ridiculous cast. Oscar Isaac found work after Star Wars, which is great because
So-
Daisy Ridley apparently
huge
can't
role.
find a job
No.
after the Star Wars films. Nobody's casting her.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know if they're like, we didn't like that whole thing you were doing with the Skywalkers, the Rise of the Skywalkers, even though you eliminated every Skywalker, and
Yeah.
I don't want to get into
And now
that.
she's the
I get
Skywalker.
emotional.
Yeah, we're not. This isn't Star Wars Day.
Not today. Not today.
It's coming.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
I think there's a big civil war going on. It's definitely just the first half of this book that's going on. So I know there's going to be a second part. I think Zendaya is going to be probably more prominent in the second part. I'm not too familiar with the first movie that came out.
Mhm.
I know that he is like in a long awaited generation of like he's supposed to be like the perfect human, the perfect ruler to
Yeah.
balance the universe.
Some type of royalty or something
Some type
like
of
that. Yeah.
super royalty. I think like the
Uh-huh.
dad is a ruler of a planet. There's these crazy sandworms that
you kind of see
you see in the end
towards
of
the end of the trailer.
well, it jumps
It's
out.
huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Apparently they have something involved with some type of mineral that's on the planet. They calling it spice.
Yep.
But it fuels like the jets, the faster than like their light speed, whatever technology they call it. I think it's like
Yeah.
faster than light, whatever technology. And it fuels something else too. I was reading, but so basically like yeah, these worms are like super valuable, but
Mhm.
no one comes to this planet to, get the materials because they're scared of these giant worms.
We're excited to see what they're going to do with this. I mean, the fact that they're going to make it two films that they've already, committed to splitting this up into two parts, it gives you that event type of viewing where you're going to have a built-in fan base going back for the second part,
Oh yeah,
where
easy.
people are going to be geeked out for
You're
it.
gonna be buying into it easy.
We'll be watching it opening weekend, I'm sure. We'll be
Oh, yeah.
going and
Easy.
we'll be all about it. We'll probably be watching it 3 or 4 times when it comes out.
Like we do around here.
Well, the way that movies are going to be delayed, I mean, we talked about it a little bit before we got started today, that Wonder Woman is going to be delayed, it looks like, until December 18th.
Right.
We don't know what's going to happen with Black Widow, if it's going to go the streaming route, or if it could be delayed even further until next spring or summer.
Mhm.
We don't really know. We're just assuming that this whole year has been put on hold.
Yeah, it
And-
sucks, dude. Anytime some kind of information comes out, you got to take it with a grain of salt because you don't know what's gonna change, whether it be sports, a movie release, anything, man. I think Black Widow's gonna go straight to Disney Plus. I think that little test that they did with Mulan was their attempt at seeing what people would do. I know it's not the same fan base.
How many times did you watch Mulan?
6.
Wow. You saw it more than me. I saw it none times.
I think you didn't put Mushu in there. I'm a little pissed.
There's no music either.
Yeah,
You know.
I'd like to see like some like I was gonna describe something. I can't even go there.
Okay.
But I'd like to see.
But yeah, no Mushu.
I would like to see Mushu if they did like a statue and she like walks by it and like honors it and like does
Something.
something. That'd be cool. But I don't think there's any Mushu.
Or who's the voice of Mushu? Eddie Murphy, right?
Eddie Murphy.
They could have had Eddie Murphy make a cameo.
What's Eddie Murphy gonna do in that movie
I don't know.
if he's not Mushu?
Right. I don't know. He's
That'd be awesome.
be a tourist,
Just walking around.
hanging out.
Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
They could dress him. They can dress him like one of the clumps. That's the ultimate mashup: is Mulan and the clumps.
I'm paying $30 for that for sure.
I think I would probably.
A
pay
Mulan Clumps collab?
Yeah, I'm with it. And Mushu in the background.
If they put Mushu in there.
So, well, a couple weeks back we were talking about this DC fandom event.
Yeah.
That they did kind of like on loop. They streamed 8 hours at a time and then they replayed it. So they're going to be doing the second half of DC fandom this weekend.
It's a little
And-
different. They set it up.
They're going to do like a little bit of like on-demand type of thing. There's going to be some where you can have choices to check like DC animation,
Right.
potential DC series on television, and then you can look at some of the things that they're going to do with the actual written the comics.
Yeah.
So that's going to be kind of neat. You're going to have the option to go between, and then I think they're going to give you the option to go back and watch the first DC fandom event, kind of like an
As they should.
on-demand type of thing. So there could be a lot of stuff coming out with that. I'm excited to see what happens if they got any major announcements or releases. We heard today Tom King. You know, we heard that Robert didn't really care for Tom King's Batman run. I wasn't a huge fan of it either. But Tom King is going to get to finish his Batman Catwoman story
Right.
because he wanted to do 100 issues. December 1st, Catman, meow. Catwoman and Batman's miniseries comes out December 1st. It's going to be, I think, 12 issues. They get to
Nice.
finish the Tom King run
Nice.
about them. Will they or won't they? You know, a lot of people had mixed reviews, I guess you could say, when they had that big anniversary issue. A lot of people were upset
Yeah.
that, you know, she left him at the altar and all that.
Come on, you don't do that to Batman.
Yeah, you can't do that to Batman. Well, you could do that to a normal person, just not Batman,
It's not Batman.
you know. Plus, she knows that he's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
He's a billionaire.
Billionaire playboy philanthropist.
You're-
That was Iron Man.
Yeah, you're gonna bounce on Bruce Wayne. Come on, that's not cool.
I don't think so either, man.
No. So, what's been? I know that you were reading just now. You're reading Something's Killing the Children, but what's something else that you know you're looking forward to checking out, or you've been reading?
We only find them when they're dead.
Yeah. Did you like
Really
it?
cool.
You like
I'm,
it?
I'm midway through it. It's like Celestials in space. Marauders are coming to get materials from these I'm talking like Galactus-size beings in the sky, and
Mhm.
they're like little weensy ships. It's really cool. I want to see where they play out on that. I could see definitely Netflix picking that up. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
could easy be something.
Yeah, the whole sci-fi genre.
Oh
I
my
mean, is
God.
big. That would blow up. Plus, the just the title alone, you know, it's a mouthful. Every time I was asking for it at the store, at the comic shop, I was like saying the name wrong.
We
You
only
know.
see them when they're alive over here.
Right. Like, "Look, you got the one, the dead space people. We can't find you or whatever. I don't know. We fell down and we're from outer space. I don't know. I couldn't get the name right.
No,
But,
I hear you. I was
yeah.
kind of like that with Something's Killing the Children too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a lot.
especially when you're talking about reading that out loud and people are like, what? Like, oh, it's awesome. series.
When you mention it to somebody that doesn't read comics
No, they're
or
like,
is like not
"What?"
even like, huh? You said Something's Killing the Children. What are you talking about? You know, they're
So sorry, lady.
yeah.
Look.
I read that Spy Island. It's only gonna be a 4-issue miniseries last week.
Was it good?
It was really cool.
Okay.
And it was funny is that they do like kind of like they do a fake advertisement as a fake vacation destination. I'll show it to you that it looks like they're doing an ad for the Bermuda Triangle as like a tourist
Mm.
attraction. Like come and see
Mm-hmm.
the Bermuda Triangle. Like they're
Right.
advertising it and it's like a happy couple walking on the beach
You
or
know,
whatever. And
damn
it's just
well you're not
it's just
supposed to be
funny.
going over there.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty great, and the story itself is pretty fun. It's a miniseries. It's 4 issues, so that's been good. I'm glad that Empire is finally over. All the other stuff, the tie-ins and everything, have been much more interesting than the actual series itself. So
Mandalorian, October 30th.
oh, I can't wait.
It's gonna be I feel like more like Empire Strikes Back kind of stuff going on.
And you get Giancarlo Esposito, who is also in The Boys,
Yes.
and he's gonna be he's Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
So he'll be playing a pretty big part in this season coming up. He kind of said that there's going to be some type of showdown.
Yep. He said it's going to be an like iconic-ish type of showdown.
Can't wait.
He also hinted that he would have a bigger vehicle. So I'm excited to see what he's got up in the sky up there.
You know what the cool thing is about this? I mean, my son is a huge Star Wars nerd, so I mean he knows all that about the insides and outs about everything about Star Wars. You remember like Wikipedia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he could be a writer for Wikipedia. He
Awesome.
like does deep dives on that stuff.
Awesome.
Okay, you've got a buddy that's like that too.
I do.
Okay. The significance of a black lightsaber. First of all, the significance of a lightsaber is that it can't cut through the armor that Mandalorians wear. A regular lightsaber can't cut through it.
Sweet.
Okay. You can only cut at the joints because you're going back
Ah.
to like Jango Fett when he gets beheaded.
Right.
Okay. That you can't cut through the regular armor of a Mandalorian.
That's cool.
Okay. A black lightsaber can.
Because I'm sure he forged it with whatever properties because he knew,
A black lightsaber, the black lightsaber originally belonged to
a Mandalorian.
The Mandalorians.
The first Jedi trained Mandalorian.
Yes. So it's significant that Moff Gideon has this in his possession, and that he appears to be, already pretty bad
Mm-hmm.
and a pretty cool character. So going forward, I mean, I think we're going to get a really cool season. We know that we're going to get Ahsoka Tano in some capacity.
It's probably going to be on the back end, just like a little bit. You know what I mean?
I want to get. I'm hoping for a trailer eventually. They showed like a fake trailer. I don't know if you saw
I
that.
saw that.
They did the fake trailer, and then
Yeah.
towards the end of the trailer, it was like
Wasn't good.
something else. They tied in some like 80s music or something to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was upset.
I forgot what I was going to say about her. She didn't say anything too much about it. She only brought it up in like little bits of passing. So I don't know if she did like, if they put her up in, like whatever. I don't know if they're going to do a little CGI or a little of just, because they had an episode, with Bill Burr
Mhm.
when Mando went up to space and he was running around those guys. They had one of those chicks and she was an actress in something else. I can't remember. But they had like someone that was kind of like the race of Ahsoka in there. Be interesting.
Yeah,
I'd like to
it's
see it.
Rosario Dawson
Yeah.
is going to be playing her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think. Do you think Mando will get the black saber at the end?
it's hard to say.
That'd be cool.
It would be very cool, but it's difficult to say. If I'd like to see if they're going to tie in some other people that have Mandalorian armor that are going to be more featured. I should say we saw plenty of Mandalorians
Yeah.
in the series, but I'm wondering to see if they expand on that a little bit, or maybe more of the different races of the bounty hunters
Mm-hmm.
that were featured
Mm-hmm.
in it. But I really like the cast. Gina Carano is like a homegrown, she's a Vegas girl.
That's awesome.
I coached her in basketball.
Oh wow,
when she
that's
was
awesome.
in middle school.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So she's a good girl and really happy for her, really proud of her.
That's awesome.
So this has been a really exciting time right now that it's the combination of all these different worlds. It's like you're a huge Star Wars fan, and then this girl that you saw grow up, is in
It's straight up in
is
there.
in the show.
Yeah.
That the first TV series that's Star Wars related. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
huge, and the way they handled Baby Yoda in the first one, they didn't know how it was gonna get sucked in. They didn't know if it was gonna be big or what. Now they're gonna be like he's gonna be more of a central character, and they're gonna be building the episodes around him.
And we're gonna find out maybe like an actual name
Yeah.
for Baby Yoda, and we won't just call
Other
him
than the child.
the child and Baby Yoda.
Yeah, and
you
I
know.
know they hate that he got called Baby Yoda, and they're sticking
Yeah.
to it. They want it to be the child.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Well, I mean, eventually, I don't know. Do they not talk? Like, if do they not talk till they get to a certain age? I mean, is he?
He's like 50.
Yeah, he's like 50 years old. So it's like, well, when I'm 50, I probably won't talk to anyone either.
You're like, "Meow, mm,
Yeah, and my ears will be big and everything. It's not
Just like
that far away.
choke you."
So yeah. Well, I mean, we're excited for what's coming up. We're looking forward to what's going to happen down the line with Mandalorian next month, and that's going to be a weekly thing as well. But we're looking forward to it, and looking forward to the boys. I'll get all caught up on boys so that we'll be able to watch. We'll be able to talk about all 4 episodes next week. I might just watch all 4 of them in a row again, rewatch everything.
That's what I would do.
You know,
I would just kind of run it through just so you can kind of get a little bit refreshed. I did the last 2 episodes of the first season before I started season 1 or season 2 again, just to kind of get like refreshed.
hmm
Cause like A-Train, his whole stuff is going on. Starlight's in a whole nother mess of drama. It's good. Oh, I wanted to shout out that Gecko dude in that hotel scene.
hmm
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That was horrible, man. That was horrible. That is the reason this show is for adults. Please don't go watch it and tell your kids to, come hang out when that show's on.
It's crazy.
Not the move.
They cut off his arm, and and then the next thing he's proposing is yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wow. Yeah. But we'll be watching all that stuff and geeking out over the DC fandom this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
reading our comics and getting caught up on all things Joker War.
Yep.
And we'll be back next week, ready to talk about all these things.
Yeah, next week I'll go into Raised by Wolves a little bit.
Next week, I hope to have found a way to watch Raised by Wolves.
Yeah, because now it's 5
Oh.
episodes.
I
So
might
by
just
next
stay
week,
here in the studio and watch
Just
it
kick
tonight.
it here.
Yeah. So, guys, we just want to say again, thank you so much for your support, taking the time out to watch. We really do appreciate it. Shout out to Super Mike
Oh yeah,
for
shout out to Super
these
Mike.
really sweet tiki mugs. We appreciate it. You can follow us on the Insta at Into the West Comics. I'm Frank,
I'm Sun Man.
the Sun Man, Super Sun Man.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Much love.
Talk to you soon.
See you next week.
Baby Yoda.
Peace.